And because, in Nigeria, that's the way it is. Maybe you pitch for a business, contract and stuff and all, and you've put your money, you've put everything, and then the thing just went south. Or better still, you got the job, and the guys that are working for you, they are the one that wants to make they are the weapons, they are the demons. It is like they sometimes and that's a thing with what's it called? If you are doing business in Nigeria, and you want to do things the right way, I can promise you at some point in time you may get into some level of depression because
Hello there. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Funtaqa Junction podcast, Real Talk. I am excited to have you today on the show. It is I, your humble host, LA, and I'm joined in the studio today are my rocksteady right-hand man, Resha, strong and chested one as usual, ready to rock and roll. And on the show today as well, Ejiro is joining us for the second episode in a row. I'm excited to have her. I'm sure you are as well. EJ, how you doing?
Hi, thank you.
Yeah.
It was great to have you on the last one.
Yes, I'm excited to be here for the second time.
Back again.
The second time of the continuation.
Back again. Second time. Continuation.
It's a continuation.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, right? Today I wanted us to touch on something a bit more relatable and, might I say, impactful, because I feel like in society today, I feel like the challenges that people are dealing with now, and I may be wrong, I feel like they are different from the kind of challenges that people were facing in the past or in years past. I think that there's a whole different level of difficulty, hardship, and expectation, especially for young people or the younger generation, like the millennials, the Gen Zs too, coming into it. Let's take, for example, our immediate environment, Nigeria, for example. You will agree with me that the times have been progressively harder. When you're talking about, as a young person, being able to go to school, get a good education, get a good job, live a good life, get married early, have a family. A lot of those things are becoming increasingly more difficult to do. And part of it is down to the economic, downturns and hardship that Nigeria, for example, has been experiencing from like Obasanjo's era, right? It's going progressively worse over the years. And some of it could be spiritual, right? It could just be that some people are just having village people in their family that does not want them to progress in life and succeed. And then you see that there are more sad people in my view. I feel like there are more sad people into a society that we've had in a while. And it borders on the topic of depression, right? An overwhelming sense of grief, sorrow, sadness that leeches on us and takes a lot of effort to shake off or shake away to break free from. And I think the topic of depression is probably not new to us or anybody. Everyone has felt some level of sadness that seems to just etch upon us and don't want to let us go, don't want to let go. And we find it very difficult to find joy and happiness in the things that we do. But I was going to ask you guys, just first off, before we even go too deep into it, what's your view about depression? And do you think that at any point in time you've been depressed before?
That's part where you asked if we've been depressed before. On depression is, I would say, is a state by which you are less interested in so many things, and you don't just feel happy. You feel sad because you can't be depressed and be happy. So you feel sad, and sometimes you feel you are not fulfilled. You feel that there's some things that actually weigh you down, and they don't want to let go of you, like you said earlier. I feel like we all have been depressed at some point. Yes, but it's the ability for us to actually handle the depression that makes us feel that we might actually feel we're not actually depressed. We're actually depressed. That's it. So different people with the way they handle depression. Some people can't handle it. Some people can handle it well. Some people just look for some things to do. So actually take their mind off that particular thing that's making them depressed.
Yeah.
So I feel we all have been depressed at some points, but it's just the way we handle it that makes us different from others. That's it.
Yeah. Excuse me. There are different ways to look at what contributes to depression. And I can't say, I can categorically say rather that everybody at one point or the other have felt a sense of depression.
You can't categorically say, right?
Yeah. I can't categorically. If you are living life, there is no way you wouldn't have, maybe due to heartbreak, maybe family dynamics, a job, career, if you are strong on alcohol, finance, if you are strong on alcohol, and maybe you want to get sober, you fall into remission, and then you start getting, because you got into that place, drugs and alcohol. Got into that place where that is your kick. That's what gets you going. And when you're not able to, get your mojo on, so different things can contribute to depression, But yeah, I can say that at some point or the other, I've been there, So I think that's the answer.
So let me ask you, right? Because like you said, I think every single one of us here can attest to the fact that at some point we have felt that wave, right, of depression. Very funny question. So I'm not gonna ask you if you're depressed now, because you don't look depressed. But again, no issue for face. How do you handle it, or how would you say you've gone about managing or handling depression from a personal point of view? What are the things you do, like your survival coping mechanisms?
Well, for me, being a Christian, that's like my shock. And people would say, I was in one conversation, I think that was last week, and I don't know what we were talking about, but it was one of those conversations that was very tense, and all, from guys from all over the place, So, and then the way our African brothers, the way they do, once they get out of, Africa, maybe they've gone to the West, and all, they become sage. Yeah. All of a sudden, they become sage. All of a sudden, they don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe, they become, and all. Yeah. So for me, I think, being a Christian and having a grasp of, the tenets, in the Christian literature, which is the Bible, I'm able to understand, at some points, like when things happen at you and stuff and all, you can figure out a way to, get yourself, going and all. Like, for instance, we have stories of depression, guys that are depressed in the Bible, and they were able to put their trust in God, and God was able to, and all. And people listening to me, that may be atheist or whatever the case is, you know, that don't have my own experience.
Yeah.
They may not be able to understand what I'm saying, which is fine, really. Except you come to my own state of mind.
Yeah.
That's when you'll be able to understand. So for me, that's like my shock. That's what I use to, you know, I mean, whenever that comes, and because, you know, in Nigeria, that's the way it is. Maybe you pitch for a business, you know, contract and stuff and all, and you've put your money, you've put everything, and then the thing just went south. Or better still, you got the job, and the guys that are working for you, they are the one that wants to make it. They are the weapons. They are the demons. You know, it is like they sometimes and that's a thing with what's it called? If you are doing business in Nigeria, you know, and you want to do things the right way, I can promise you, at some point in time, you may get into some level of depression. Because the people that and these are some of the things that happens, you know, that we are not able to kind of quickly determine, like, okay, where is this thing coming from and stuff. You know, when you have like a mind to want to always do things right, you're going to have problem in Nigeria. Yeah. And that can get you in trouble, and that can get you to some bad state of mind that you don't want to be. Yeah. As a matter of fact, there was a day I was dealing with some guys and stuff. You know what they told me? Because I was making demands like, I want my this thing done in this way, because I know that this is what, the client require and stuff. And also, I may not be able to get another job or another contract from this client if I don't do it this way. Guess what? They were like, why is it that you're always the one that is making too much demands? You know, you're always like, everything is always like, you have to make it right, and all that. You know, why can't you just do it and do like everybody else and stuff and all? And this guy said this to me like 5 years ago, stuck to my brain. Like, this is the way people think in Nigeria, you know? And for me, I mean, I just say that, you know, to say that, you know, there are different things that get people into depression, you know, and all. But in our line of business, in our line of, you know, life, you know, and all, you could get it from everywhere, you know, you could get it from everywhere. So, and for me, I mean, those are some of the things that gets me really, really ticked off, you know, that kind of like, you know, just trying to get things right and all. Guess what? In the course of the week, I was trying to, not in course of the week, this thing has been happening maybe like over a month or two now, trying to renew my driver's license.
You go here one.
It is like you are, it is like you want to enter heaven. Like,
it's really difficult.
I'm like,
right
what
now.
is going on? Why are things, you know, just, I mean, unreasonably hard and all? Do you get? So for me, if you look at Nigerian situation, there is a whole lot of reason why people can get into depression.
Yeah.
You know, just because maybe they want to get things done. The same thing with the NEPA, you know, trying to get your metering, and then you don't want estimated billings and stuff and all. Yeah. You know, but the NEPA want to give you estimated billings. You know, so all those things can get you into depression and all. So there's just a whole lot of this one can expand, but let's just narrow it down. You know,
I mean, just backing on what you said, and I find that interesting because your line of thoughts on it now is like there is a causative factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Depression.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, your environment in itself, like Nigeria alone, is enough to make you depressed because everything is hard, everything is difficult. So you just see that you are trying your best, but you're not getting results because your environment is not conducive. That can make you depressed. There's also the other part where there isn't really a tangible causative factor. Say, for example, people in the UK now, I think I saw an article somewhere where they said that the United Kingdom has the highest percentage of depressed people in the world. I think it was the UK or some country in Europe, right? And you ask yourself, UK is I know things are a bit hard in UK, but the UK isn't the worst place to live in.
No.
Right?
No. You are talking like that because you are in Nigeria.
Okay.
Do you get? And then the type of stress that you go through in Nigeria. If you get to UK, when they are depressed, it will feel like you should just smack them out of, you know, and come back to reality. Like, what's wrong with this one? Do you get? So what I'm saying in nutshell is that the level of stress that you go through in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's why Nigerians get to UK. Just like they are just balling. You know, they are just happy. Life is good and all. Because the level of depravity that we have back here cannot be compared. And that's why the grass is always greener on the other side.
Okay.
Why? I mean, guys in the UK will be like, why are Nigerians always happy? You get? You know? But they don't know that the stress that they go through in Nigeria, when they get to the UK, they just want the government to tax them whatever they want to tax. Just let me live my life in peace. The government will tax you here. They will still make your life miserable. You get?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so the point I was trying to make was, so for someone that lives in the United Kingdom, for example, you can't say that the economy of the UK is what making them depressed. Can we say that?
No.
Can we say the environment is choking on them? So I'm trying to identify what's the causative factor for depression for people that live in the UK, for example.
No, but
the UK is not as hard as Nigeria.
No. But
right?
UK is hard.
UK is hard. It's hard for them.
Yeah, it's hard for them.
To them, it's hard.
To them, it's hard.
Okay.
Because the government tax them a lot.
Okay.
You know, it's more like they are living from hand to mouth.
Okay.
In the UK.
Okay.
You get? I mean, they can feed, you know, and you know, all these things kind of, it changes, you know. There is a level that you get to. I mean, in life, maybe you are earning maybe 500,000, for instance, a month. There's a level you get to 500,000, I'll be like, God, gosh, you know, this small money. Now, this suffering, how I go take it. You want 1 million. If you get to 1 million again, you want 2 million. That's the way it is. So, in the UK, maybe you're making maybe like £2,000 a month. You know, I saw one Nigerian, was it a girl or a lady or a guy? I think it's a lady. That was like this life. I'm tired of this life. I'm tired of this life. They just collect tax. You know, their apartments pays maybe like £1,200 for the apartment. And the apartment, I want small collabo stuff like that too.
Normal level.
You get, you know. So, and then that one that's taking more than half of the money, you know. And then the rest, you still have to pay tax here and there and on and everything. Yeah. So they have their own issues there. Okay. Really. You know. And also, I think there's something that they also say about their weather. See, there is something about their weather.
The weather too has the way it dampens the spirits.
There's something about the weather. You know, I know my friends, when we're talking, they be like, it's 4 o'clock, it's dark. It's already dark. Everything is kind of like, you know, gloomy and stuff and all.
And that thing you said is true. It's the way weather can sort of dull your spirits.
Yeah.
When it's just so cold and so just dark and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the point I was making, which is that for different people, the environment is different. So the UK's economy, I know it's bad, but it cannot be as bad as Nigeria. But there are other things that causes their own depression. Ejiro, I don't know.
There's something about...
Do you have some insights? Do you have some insights you want to share?
Okay.
That we're not aware of. Please tell us.
The thing is, the Nigerians that actually migrated to the UK, if given a chance, if Nigeria can just be a little bit better, I bet you they will come back.
I've heard that.
They will come back.
I've heard that, you know.
I have friends that come to Nigeria like how many times in a year? Because this my friend stays in America and he's always complaining, I'm going back again. Work. The only difference is that they are actually seeing what they are working for. But I have a friend that traveled to the UK and she complained to her husband for the first 2 months that, are you sure our migration is not a mistake? She kept telling the husband because she was like, she went there for studies and the husband too wanted to actually travel. So when they met each other, they had like mind too. And she was like, when she was here in Nigeria, it's just a stone throw from her house to her workplace. She will go home, collect her paycheck, everybody's okay. But there, she would any small thing, she would say, I hate you, I go this place, I going to work, I'm tired of this UK stuff. This UK. And she was like, it's now, they've been there for like 2 years. It's now that she's just trying to acclimatize to UK's palaver.
Yeah.
So it's because we are actually here. When you go there, it's not as easy as you think. And again, family pressure from here. They just believe that anybody that is outside Nigeria
really
is
better off.
Baba Bola.
So even people that have not texted you in years, some of your far relatives, some people that are we're not even talking about nuclear now or even extended. People that are extended, they'll start texting you, and I tell people that it's not easy. It's much more easier to actually get help from people here in Nigeria than from people in the UK.
Try.
I even believe that people in the UK, they're even more conservative. But people from America, they're more liberal. But people from the UK, every penny
counts.
Like this, it's count. It really, really counts because they actually pay for their comfortability. They pay heavily. And they're seeing what they're paying for. Do you understand? So in Nigeria, my friend will tell me that, Ejiro, you can be a poor man on Monday, but you can on Monday in Nigeria and be a billionaire on Saturday.
Well, to talk
he actually studied in the UK and he doesn't want to go back.
Would you not prefer that predictability of the UK, knowing that when you work, you get your monies? I mean, you get your work's pay.
Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, it is not necessarily the same. Nigeria is like a jackpot.
Yeah.
You
How
know?
many people hit the jackpot?
Yeah. That's
One
the
in
thing.
a million.
Sure, you get. You know.
So many other people are suffering.
Yeah. So if you are looking at it for the larger percentage of the society, I think that's the reason why a lot of people want to migrate, because you can determine that when you work, you get your money, and then you can now start disbursing your money accordingly for rent, for this, for that, and all. And then, like you said, 2 years down the line, she's acclimatizing. You know, she's getting used to the.
I think everybody that goes to the UK struggles for the first 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and it's normal because
it's normal. It's a new terrain.
You're trying to understand the weather.
Yeah.
You're trying to understand the people.
Yeah.
You're trying to understand your job. So for me, I still maintain that in places like the UK, there are different factors that leads to depression or that cause depression. The depression that's not essentially economic related, like how it is in Nigeria. And so the point I'm trying to make is, if there are different things that trigger depression in us, for example, I like what you said about your friend that was in Nigeria before. She's gone to the UK. She's working now.
Yes.
She's probably earning a decent pay salary. What she wasn't earning in Nigeria, what she was making in Nigeria. She can pay her rent. She can afford to go do some grocery shopping. But you're surprised that even though she has reached a certain level of stability financially, there will still be something else that is causing that sadness. That sadness should come from somewhere else. It might not be the fact that the economy is hard on her.
Yeah, true.
So is depression really, is it a mental illness? Or is it just a mental state of mind?
Yeah, so if you ask me, I think by my own observation or by my own experience over the years, I think our life is spiritual, you know, and until we come to terms with that reality, you know, I mean, what's it called now? Aspire to perspire. They will tell you, speakers. They will tell you like, these are the 10 steps to have a maximum mental, you know, and also they'll now be telling you like, you have to wake up in the morning, you know, there's something that you do in the morning, you can do so, you know, just give you different, they'll give you different, you know, strategy and stuff. The same thing with yoga, you know, when you do yoga too, and all, they'll give you their, you know, pointers and their criteria of how you can get yourself, or, you know, instructions on how you can get yourself out of, you know, that and all, you know. And for me, what is all those things? What are they seeking? You know, if you do Buddha, if you do atheists and stuff and all, they will tell you meditation, you know, and a constant meditation and stuff. What are all those things? What are they geared towards? You know, it's like you're summoning some unknown, consciousness. You want to get into some unknown consciousness to get yourself to a balanced state of mind, and all. So for me, I think life is spiritual, and it's something we come to terms with that we're not able to kind of like, okay, fine. How do I now, engage life?
Okay.
And all. Like I said, I'm looking at my own experience from, as a Christian, and the Bible is a literature that if you read it, to understand, because a lot of people read Bible to argue, they read Bible to tell you that I know more than you and all and everything. But if you read the Bible to understand, it is the only, It is the only literature that have, the archaeological, history, not disputed by any literature else, in the entire world. You can check it. No literature has been able to dispute the archaeological, history that was embedded in the Bible and all. So for me, I'm looking at it from the point of, I said that to say that, I've realized that the Bible, when you read it to understand it, you'll be able to get yourself, to the godlike states where you understand why God created you. And when things happen, you are able to, it's not like you're not going to get into depression, because even the Bible says it. It says, count it all joy, because in life you are going to see trials and tribulation. You are going to experience, trials and tribulation, but count it all joy because the battle has been won and all and everything. Yeah. So there are different pointers that the Bible will tell you. Like, if you are going through the worst of times, there are different people that it will also reference for you. You can go and see Job. Job was in the worst state of depression when his life, everything just went kaboom, and all. But he was able to, persevere. He was able to kind of, overcome that. And then he had double of what, God gave to him and all. I'm saying that because this is my own, experience. This is my own, go-to, and all. So I'm not forcing that on anybody. I'm just saying that this is my own experience, and this is how I deal, with, stuff like depression. Maybe that wants to rear its head up and stuff. You remind yourself again, how did the greats in the Bible, how did they overcome? What were the things that they did? They got themselves to a place of prayer and they asked God, to go for God to come, and just, get them out of it and stuff. So for me, that's the way I look at it. And you can be anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere in the world, in the US, in the UK, in Japan, China, and all. Everybody's experiencing some form of depression or the other. Maybe from their government, or maybe it's just the weather, or maybe it's just some even nature also give them calamity. You know, earthquake.
So in your view, it's more of a state of mind. Yeah, it's not a mental illness.
No, it is a continuous, change in the state of mind that you have to keep adapting to and keep overcoming, time and over again. Like I was trying to talk about how would you, how can you deal with a situation whereby you're in your house, earthquake just happens, and everything gets swallowed up, and you are the only one that survived, and you have your family, everybody is dead. How are you going to manage that, state of mind and stuff? People experience it. We may not experience it, but people experience it. We see. Do you get? So different things happen to people that, can get them to that, state of mind. So the people that I'm talking of extreme cases, the people that don't have extreme cases, it may be love life. Yeah. Maybe if somebody that they love maybe gets sick, and then just died, and you can, when my mom died, I was almost going into depression, because it was somebody that you really care about, you really love and stuff and all. And then, and they just, die like that, so different things happen to people, that gets them to that point of mind. But how are you able to overcome that? How are you able to navigate and stuff? Those are and like I said, mine is my Christian experience over the years, which was one of the things that my mom passed to me anyway, but I came into my own child anyway. So, yeah, so that's
Ejiro, what do you think?
Okay, like you said, there are sometimes that maybe I will not call my own depression. Maybe sometimes I'll feel unhappy and everything, but anytime I go to church, In short, my best moments are in church. Anytime I go to church, I tell people I'm a church girl. I love church. Anytime I go to church, there's this relief in my spirit. And it also gives me this reassurance that God has not left me. That is still with me. There's this huge, even if let me not use church only as an example for ways of battling depression. Sometimes I can just be in my room and let me just say a word of prayer. I tell people that I don't talk to God as I don't talk to him as my God like that. Sometimes I gist with him. I talk to him as my father, like my friend. And I'm like, God, what do you think about this? Show me a sign. Do you get? And there's this, even if first when you wake up in the morning, when you want to, I know this might sound cliche. People are tired of hearing it. When you wake up in the morning, this is the but for me, it's like a therapy. It's therapeutic. When you wake up in the morning, just say a word of prayer to God. It makes your day kind of smooth, and it just gives me this assurance that there's a bigger person in charge of my day. So because some people, when I was talking to somebody and the person gave an example, and the person was like, how you feel if your father is like a king or a ruler in the universe, like anything you want, you can just ask your father and your father will do it for you. And then I said yes, I'll be happy, I'll feel elated, I'll feel very happy and the rest. And he was like, that is who God is to us. Do you understand? The thing is that when we are talking about God now, you must not be a Christian for you to be able to, because there are so many people listening to us. You're not a Christian, you might not be a Christian, you might be a Muslim, so talking to God is one of the things that helps me to battle depression, and being around people that you love. That is why most of the people in the UK, they can just commit suicide because most of them they're like this. It's like this.
So are you saying that most of them are they're isolated?
Some of them are, yes, they're alone. They don't really have people
they don't got no support
they
system.
talk to all the time. Do you understand?
Fair.
And I just feel that I'm alone in this world, and let me go. They might have everything that is in. The thing is that in this life, you might feel that when you have money, you have everything going on for you and everything, but it's a lie. There are other things that can actually contribute to depression apart from lack of finance or lack of whatever. So, like you said, love. Before we can say love is wicked. So, love is also a contributing factor to depression. So, like I said, the way you can actually battle depression is by being close to God. I tell people, in the name of any deity you serve, because some people are not Christians. They have other ways of serving God or any deity that they serve. And I think like me personally, when I talk to God, there's this huge relief I just have, and my day starts, and talk to people that you love, chat with people. Not say chat, unnecessary chat or something. How you do? You know, you are okay. Before you know, one gist will come. And you know, your mind is already getting off that particular thing that was actually making you down or something. So I think I
think it's interesting that the both of you have a similar approach to how you managed, that state of mind, which is relying on a higher power. And I think that is so important, that higher power, being able to access that higher level, because at the end of the day, I always say that there's a difference between depression and feeling sad. Feeling sad is a momentary thing. Sometimes it can be triggered by an event. Somebody disappointed you or something happened. You just feel sad. It looks similar to depression. Depression is more long term. It comes on you, and it's like no matter how you try, you can't shake it off. It just sticks like a parasite, and sometimes you don't even know where it's coming from. I probably want to share my own experience too, because like you said, I think everyone listening to us, everybody in the world has gone through a phase. Some are still even going through it now, because I think, to me, depression isn't just I'm not feeling good today. It's not a mood thing. It really does come on you and it can stick. I remember before some years back when I was fresh out of university. Yeah, while in university, fresh out of university, I was experiencing something they called near success syndrome. You know, it's like you are trying to maybe like you said earlier, pushing a contract, or you're trying to get a job, or there's a business that you're pushing very actively. I just realized that everything will work out well and look rosy up until the very last minute where all that's required is to just maybe sign the papers or just get that upfront confirmation. And then miraculously, everything just come tumbling down. And I saw this happen to me over and over when I left school and I entered the job market. Oh my goodness, it was even worse. There was no job I wasn't applying to. And the funny thing was that I would always do the interviews for this job. I get all the way to the final stage. I was always getting to the final stage. And when it seems like, because obviously the same performance that got me to the final stage is what I will also do in the final stage. So I believe I've done what's required to get the job. I wouldn't get the job. You know, it got to a point, I was chucking it off as, okay, it's bad luck. At some point, something will turn out. But I saw the pattern. And then I realized that, okay, I started telling myself, maybe I'm battling some village uncles and aunties, you know, and it brought doubt to me. I started doubting myself. Like I was telling myself, you know, Larry, maybe you're not actually good enough, because I was trying to get like the good jobs, like the big companies. Maybe you are not actually smart enough to get hired by these companies. That's what I was telling myself. Maybe try smaller companies. Maybe because, I mean, you didn't study a very fancy degree or whatever. You graduated 2-1, not a first class. So maybe you're not that bright. And the self-doubt began to metamorphose into depression, because I always thought I was good enough for a year. But it's like life is telling me that you're not really good enough for here. Maybe this is your level. And I was struggling to accept the fact that, is this really my level? You know, where I knew that I'd gone to the crux of it, because obviously I was feeling very sad, beginning to lose a lot of excitement for life, because the things that I thought I was created to be or aspire to be, it seemed like I couldn't be that anymore. And it wasn't just about jobs, it was even contracts. Bro, there was a time I actually got a job. I resumed on the job and got fired. I'm not even kidding. I was a job that came with the car. I was supposed to get a car. Right? On resumption. So at that point, I was in my room one night and I was saying to myself, okay, maybe I need to speak to my parents and ask them, okay, at some point, did anybody curse us? Is our ancestors? Do we have ancestral cause? You know? And then I remember one night I was in my room. It was very dark. There was no lights. And I stood in front of the wall and I was screaming at the wall because I was so frustrated. Like, I felt like I couldn't win the battles. Something was fighting me and there was no way I could win. I was depressed. And then I was about to go online and start searching for gurus. You know, people that can tell your problems, spiritual gurus. And then they will now like give you divination and say, oh, and
Guru Maharaji is not online. You should have
Guru Maharaji is pardon. You know, you know, I was about to start doing some research and maybe I can reach out to someone that can give some divination and explain. And I'll never forget that night. That was the turning point for me. I'm not even joking. I heard a voice very clearly. And that voice asked me, said, do you believe in the devil? And I said, yes. And he said, do you believe the devil is powerful? I said, yes. And then the voice asked me, do you believe in God? I said, yes. Do you believe that God is powerful? I said, yes. Then he asked me, what do you think is more powerful between God and the devil? I said, God. Then he spoke to me and said, don't be bothered about who's fighting you. Don't waste your time chasing after who cursed you, or who is the reason for your problem, or who is fighting you. So focus on me. You believe I'm stronger, right? Then trust that when the time comes, you win. I kid you not. That was it. That very night, it was like something flew out of my room. I felt something fly out of my room. Like, just leave. That was all. I just realized that why am I actually stressing myself about whether it's a family cause or village people or somebody? Why am I bothered about? I already believe in someone who is stronger than them, right? Who can shut them out in one word. So you know what? I'll trust that guy, which is God, and I'll wait. Whenever he decides that my breakthrough or my yes moment has come, it will come, and nothing in the world will stop it. And what's funny is that, was I still having near success syndrome? Absolutely. For like the next 6 months, I was still getting my bad luck. But I just realized that I wasn't even sweating it. Honestly, like, I wasn't sweating it. When I was getting those rejections, you know, and those like disappointments, I kid you not, I wasn't sweating it. I was just cool. I was just like, okay, cool, on to the next one. The moment I got one yes, the moment I got that first yes, bro, I'm not even kidding. It was like as if I could do no wrong. I just kept moving from one level to another level. And it was like the expressway had been opened up. And I look back at those years and I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know what's so funny? So many people have been in that fix before, or in that point in time where they actually took the wrong turn and spent so much time trying to figure out which uncle or which auntie or which grandma is the one that's the one covering, or you're wasting your time, bro. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say is that the higher power, like you said, is so important. And I'm saying that to everyone because I feel like I talk to a lot of my friends. So I'm in a group chat where a lot of my buddies from secondary school, sometimes we chop it up, we discuss. And then one day we're all talking about our problems. I realized like all of us, I mean, we're all guys in our early 30s. We're all dealing with shit. Like everybody's dealing with something. Everybody's depressed. Everybody's sad. Everybody's struggling. And I'm like, there has to be a way to cope with this, right? And I think it's interesting that on this show today, all three of us have highlighted a similar go-to point, which is your higher power, that God, that creator, that entity that knows beyond you and I, that knows what's happening on the back end, that probably understands what you're feeling better than you. I think we all need to go back to that source because that's where our strength comes from.
Yeah, I mean, well said. You know, and what you said and your highlights, the climax of your experience when you're going through what you're going through, was talking about who is more powerful.
Yeah.
You know, there is a part in the Bible that says that you should not be afraid of the one that can kill but just the flesh. You know, but you should be afraid of the one that can kill both the flesh and your spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where that comes from, really. And I think to also bring it down, you know, to layman's understanding, really, everybody would always go through something, you know, at some point or the other, maybe disappointments, you know, you're not able to just, like you said, you're not able to just, you know, just hit that mark, you know, you've been trying, you know, it could be love life too, you know. I mean, you've been getting a lot of, you know, nails. Maybe I think they say you're not beautiful enough, or you're not fine enough, you know, you can't talk to some people or what have you, and also different family dynamics, you know, you just don't like the way your family situation is. You wish things can be different, you know. I mean, some people grow like that, you know. I mean, there's that thing where they say that you cannot control where you are born into. Yeah. You know.
You can't choose family.
Yeah, you know, but when you see the family situation and you feels like you can't just get out of this situation because of the circumstances that surround maybe your parents or whatever you and all, and you know you deserve better, you know. So, I mean, the thing with it is like Ellie said, there is a bigger power, you know. In my own case, I figured that out, you know, my journey as a Christian, following Christ. And if I say following Christ, don't follow pastors. You know, I mean, no shade at the pastors. I put something up in my status, you know, two pastors, they were fighting themselves, you know. It's the an American pastor. They were fighting themselves. The pastor, he just finished preaching, So apparently, I think the guy that came to take the mic from him, he's the owner of the
congregation,
of the location.
Thank you.
He's the owner of the church and stuff. I guess he was a guest minister and it was taking too much time. They were really cussing themselves out in church. They were cussing at themselves in church, diversion. But I say that to say that, you see, I mean, if you are putting your life in the pastors and that situation may disappoint you and you feel like, oh, maybe this thing is not worth it after all. You have to find yourself, bottom line, find yourself, find what makes you unique. Every one of us, you can imagine the thumbprint. We are like 7 billion people on earth and one thumbprint is not the same. Yeah. Have you come to figure that out? Like, how did that happen? 7 billion people and one thumbprint is not the same. It makes you unique. So that shows that you're unique. That shows that we all are unique, and there is something that makes us different from everybody else. That's what you need to find. That it factor that makes you just you, So don't let the world crumble down on you. Don't let, life, determine how far you go. You're here, and somebody says, you are here. You might have well just make the best of it, and all, yeah. So I think for me, that's what, I'm going to, say to our guys. Really.
Lovely. Ejiro, what advice to anyone dealing with anything, struggling for a close round up?
Okay. Do not be pressured. That's the thing, because this peer pressure out there is just getting so much. I want to make it on time. I want to be like my mates. I want to do this at this age. I've not done this. I've not done that. But as people that actually in the same age bracket, some of them are dying. Some of them are in mental institutions. Some of them, their life is already worthless. But they are just living. They are dead, but they are still living. So I just want to say, whatever it is, do not be pressured. Do not be pressured. And also, like we said earlier, I also have the higher power that we're actually talking about, because you can't do life alone. You can't do life alone. Because there's some people that feel that, okay, I've got I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. So when you feel that you are incapable of doing some certain things, you feel that you are useless. If I can't do this thing, sometimes it's normalcy. It's a normal thing for you to be incapable at the moment to do some certain things. But we just feel that because of too much pressure, most of us feel that I'm supposed to do this, I'm worthless, I'm that. So I just feel that the thing is that don't be pressured. That's number one. Don't be pressured. Believe that when you are not able to do some things, it's normalcy. You are not cursed. You are not a bad person. You are not somebody that does not have oil on the head. That's how some people put it. Let's say oil not even in my head. Everywhere I meet like this, no, that's not it. Yeah. You are unique. Like I said earlier, everybody has different thumbprints, meaning we are unique. There's a reason why you wake up every day, because you have not finished fulfilling what you came to this world for, and you are supposed to manifest it before you die. So that's just it. Let's take this easy.
Beautiful. In the words of the great Tom Hanks, these two shall pass.
Is it Tom Hanks that said that?
I saw a clip where he did say that. I liked it.
Tom Hanks. Make we not go there. You get some shady stuff. Make we not go there. Get some shady stuff.
You don't come again.
Then talk saying go into the PDD.
I don't know that one for you. Everybody did PDD. In the words of the great legendary
some people that still have good characters, even if they are into PDD stuff now.
Is that what?
Yes, there's some people that are still good.
I don't know about that PDD one. Have you seen the list? Have you seen this?
They talk say Trump go release him. They talk say Trump go release him.
Yeah, Trump.
What's it called? Some of them are actually peer pressure. Anyway, they are pushed there and stuff. But I mean, maybe we can talk about it. Maybe we can have an episode where we talk about it. Like, what makes you a good person, in the sense that this case of PDD, for instance, now, there are some people that decided not to go. Some people, they got invited, they said they are not going. So how can you still say you are
A good person and you
good
went.
person and you went.
Some people don't
Dicey.
know now.
Dicey. Anyways, dicey. That's the diversion.
Yes,
The topic
that's
for another
another
day.
day.
These two shall pass,
Exactly.
right? So everyone listening to us right now on the show, and you feel like there's a weight that's just hanging on your shoulders and it doesn't want to let you go. Trust me, that weight can drop like this, like a feather. All you need to do is tap into the right state of mind and reach into your higher consciousness. And trust me, whatever problems you think are insurmountable, they're just that, problems that can disappear in 1 second. So always believe that there's a way out. Keep fighting. There's a whole lot to fight for in life. Life is the most beautiful thing that can ever happen in existence. So don't give up.
Yeah, before you sign us out. Because of the conversation that we've had, about pastors and stuff, yeah, people think that we're outcasts.
Why not?
I know.
People get that feeling that we are.
Yeah, they think that we're outcasts.
Close enough to get what we're really saying.
Yeah, so go to church. I advise you go to church.
Read your Bible.
Read your Bible. Try and understand what it's saying. And I think if you maybe are just looking at the sound bites, cutaways that we've been doing, you don't listen to what we're saying. When you listen very well, you will know that we're always coming at a conclusive, spot.
Mm-hmm.
So read your Bible, understand it very well for yourself. So I mean, nobody's saying like you should just throw your red flag up when you see anybody that is a Christian or what have you at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said to settle that now. I'm not going to say it again. No. I'm not going to say it again. So
this is a disclaimer. I don't understand. They drag you like
no, they don't drag me.
They don't drag like Tiger Gen.
Yeah, as if we're outcasts. As if we're
atheists.
Yeah. So I said what I said.
You said what you said, guys. Before we go, we'll give a big shout out to Analika. She's been working very hard on the studios, our setup.
Thank you.
I'm sure to our OGs who watch us regularly, they would have seen that something is different. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's Analika's job, working very hard behind the scenes, and we appreciate her. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for making up time to be on the show. Our listeners, that's all. Yeah, we're here for you. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Yeah.
But till then, stay jiggy and stay fly. We're signing out. Peace out.
Like my South African friend would say, Sobonana Usasa.